the Estadio Camp Nou, second v third. I'm Andrew Orsatti alongside Robbie Mustoe for this clash. Barcelona, their problems this season in the league have been well documented. They've dropped 7 points in their last 6 outings. They've gone from 3 points behind league leaders Real Madrid to 13 adrift of Jose Mourinho's men after Madrid defeated Racing Santander 4-0 yesterday. Barcelona, Robbie, might be excused for putting a greater emphasis on their quest to retain their UEFA Champions League crown this season.
I'm sure they are going to do that, Andrew, and I think when you look back at this season, I think you've got to look at an unsettled team. I think everybody's played their part in this disappointing campaign in some ways. Pep Guardiola, I think, changed things around a little bit too much. We saw different systems, different players playing in different positions. And also you have to look at motivation, Andrew. Maybe with everything that they've won, maybe that's not quite where it should be.
No wins for Valencia in their last 9 meetings with Barcelona. Their last victory here in October of 2003. 3 draws and 6 defeats in that period. Barcelona heavily favoured, coming off that big win away to Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League. We'll take a short break, more to come in just a moment.
Thank you for joining us. About to get underway. Surely not! Oh, he has! He has! Opening goal! What a ball that was! That is what he does. Will he shoot this time? He will! And he will score! A precious goal.
We've seen some quality on show here tonight.
How about that? So much ability in that right foot.
What a stunning goal.
Back on level terms. Now that's a strike.
The hard-hitting action of Friday Night Fights continues this Friday on ESPN. In the junior welterweight division, Mike, the silent assassin Dallas Jr., looks to bounce back with a victory as he takes on Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez. Plus, the latest boxing news from around the world, commentary and interviews. Friday Night Fights, Friday on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Camp Nou for this highly anticipated clash in round 24 of La Liga. Barcelona seeing their league title slip away as Real Madrid run away with it. Desperate to reclaim the honours here in Spain after watching their great rivals Barcelona take off with the honours the last 3 seasons running. Valencia, by no means are any pushovers coming here. They sit in third. And we look back to their first meeting in the league this season at the Mestalla. They finished 2-2. Barcelona away from home have had major issues. They've dropped 16 points this season away from the Camp Nou. And when you look at that and the great level of consistency being displayed by Real Madrid this season under Jose Mourinho, you can understand that the gap just keeps widening between them. Real Madrid might end up winning by some margin if this continues. For the Barcelona hierarchy, well, they know that trophies have already come their way this season. They're still in the running in the Copa del Rey, where they've reached the final, and the UEFA Champions League. Here's the team news. Martin Montoya making his first appearance of the season at right back in place of the suspended Dani Alves. There's no Javier Mascherano either, who's serving a 1-match ban. Gerard Piqué is recalled in that back 4.
Yeah, I think when you look at that midfield now, you see Cesc Fabregas in number 4. That is the Xavi position. I guess that's why Fabregas was brought into this football club at some point. He will take his role in the team. Looking further ahead, I think it's great to see Pedro back in the team. He offers something a little different, a sharpness, the ability to beat players on the dribble, and certainly an eye for goal as well. So the front 3 and midfield looks strong for Barca in this one.
Xavi is among the substitutes, though. He's had problems with a calf injury. reportedly offered to play on painkillers during the week in the Champions League. The club are not willing to take any risks, though. The news for Valencia is that Pablo Chianti is brought back in, the Argentine winger. The Brazilian international Jonas, who scored twice in the 4-0 victory over Sporting Gijón last week, is also recalled to the starting 11 behind their top scorer Roberto Soldado, who scored 12 in La Liga this season, but he's failed to find the back of the net in his last 3 league matches. Also, Victor Ruiz is back in the side for the visitors this evening in the centre of defence. Pep Guardiola, for the first time in a long time, having to sit back in some respects and admire the level of consistency displayed by Real Madrid. They haven't been able to match them. Of course, there's still some way to go, and it's hard to see right now Barcelona getting back into the title race. Sofian Feghouli on that far side scored a fabulous goal for Valencia last week in the win over Sporting Gijón, which was Valencia's first in 6 league matches. They've had some problems of late. Understandably, you could excuse them for being a little complacent sitting in third, because they're not under a great deal of pressure, are they, in that position? It looks as though Valencia will once again finish third as they did last season.
I just think when you look at it, though, their recent draws they've had, Valencia, they could be up really close to Barcelona. They can go within 3 points if they win here. I'll tell you what, they are getting closer to Barcelona the way that Barca have just faltered in the last few months.
Look at the fact that these two clubs met recently in the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey as well. Barcelona advancing to the decider, where they'll take on Athletic Bilbao. Should be an intriguing matchup as well, as Barcelona look to win that competition. Real Madrid were the defending champions, and Barcelona eliminated Real Madrid en route to facing Valencia in the last 4. So Gerard Piqué, some say he was dropped from the side that travelled to Germany to face Bayer Leverkusen midweek. Others saying it was the fact that he was being rested. No doubt about it, that he and Carlos Puyol as well, they had their problems defensively last week in the loss to Osasuna. This is Andres Iniesta looking for the run of Pedro in the area.
Mathieu there getting up and above. Alexi there to nod it away. There's a picture of Xavi Hernandez, absolutely magnificent player. Looks miserable, and I bet he is miserable because he hasn't played for a little while. He's got this continued Achilles and calf issue problem that he's got, and it's just restricting him. And I tell you, they're not the same team when he's not there. I don't think in the midfield he is such a sensational footballer.
Eric Abidal, the Frenchman at left back, calmly done under pressure from Feghouli. Here's the youngster at right back, Martin Montoya. Guardiola looking at Montoya this evening, giving him a chance. He made a couple of appearances last season, but this is first in La Liga this term, although he did appear for Blaugrana in the UEFA Champions League group stage, where he actually scored in a 4-0 victory over Bate Borisov. It was some goal too, linking up with Isaac Cuenca on that occasion. Sergio Busquets.
I just think, Andrew, that in the last couple of games, Pep Guardiola seemed to have gone back to his tried and tested formula. It's 4-3-3, similar shape in midfield, similar situation up front with Lionel Messi playing in that false number 9 position, though he will rotate a little bit with Alexis Sanchez. But I just think there was a period in the season where we had the 3 at the back, we had different situations up front with Messi playing in behind a striker, and I don't know, I didn't think they found their rhythm very well playing like that.
Fabulous turn from Lionel Messi is away, and he was clipped cynically by David Albelda, who'll go into the book for that one. Messi was away, and it was just getting ready to pull the trigger as he was brought down from behind.
Well, that's what he does so well, and that's the problem with Messi playing in that false number 9. He drifts into areas that people don't really know whose job it is to mark him. It's not really Albelda's. He's a midfield player. He probably expects Rami or Victor Ruiz to come out all the way with Lionel Messi and get nice and tight.
Wonderful opportunity this inside the opening 5 minutes for Lionel Messi. Messi, who's already scored 23 times this season. Retrieved by Carlos Puyol. He's got Piatti and Mathieu for company. Good work by Busquets to get it back, and that is a real feature of his game. Finds Messi. Well, this is magnificent, juggling his way into the area. Messi's in the mood. Montoya. Messi. So Fabregas. Abidal. Point of attack out to Pedro. Disappointing delivery.
Yeah, just expecting something spectacular. We almost found it there, just juggling the ball, running at high speed. Not easy to do, trust me. But you're right, I think I like the way that Barcelona started the game. Very quick, very keen to get the ball down and play a reasonable tempo. I think at times Barca have been a little bit slow sometimes.
Federally. He'll be a player to watch. Is he offside?
I think he is just, yeah, half a yard offside, certainly on that right-hand side. Federally playing, and will come inside as well. Try and give Abidal a bit of an issue there. Pablo Piatti, the left-hand side for Valencia, a new signing, $11 million from Almeria. I've always liked, when I've watched him play, very tricky, skillful player.
This is Miguel. Adil Rami. He finds Feguli. Albelda to Rami. First time over the top. The flag was up against Pablo Piatti. It's his first season with the club. It's taking a little while to settle his Piatti after joining from Almeria.
Just interesting there, the ball clipped over the top. It's certainly offside, but how close Victor Valdez was. I mean, he really is encouraged, or any goalkeeper, I guess, at this football club is encouraged to almost be like a sweeper. Very high. When that team pushes up, he's not too far behind them.
This is Jeremy Mathieu, the French left back, looking for Feguli on their far side, who's drifted beyond the line of defence once more. Feguli, who's got 4 goals to his name in this campaign, was an outstanding strike last week against Sporting Gijón. He was teed up by Mathieu on the edge of the area and struck it with his left boot. Magnificent goal it was.
Yeah, and there's the run. He's slightly offside, but he's made that run twice now already, and it's going to be important. I think Valencia know that Barcelona sometimes can look vulnerable to that ball over the top if the run and the timing of the pass is right.
There's Victor Ruiz. Adil Rami, the preferred central defensive partnership, back in place for Valencia. No room though for Mehmet Topal. You can see his name across the top of your screen. The Turkish midfielder who has scored a wonder goal midweek in the victory away to Stoke City. Chance here! Pablo Piatti has just scored his first goal for Valencia in La Liga. And it comes against the champions at the Camp Nou, who have once again been exposed defensively. They went to sleep and Piatti made them pay.
I had a few blank looks from the Barcelona players, particularly the defending players. And I always say against Barcelona, you have to take your chances because you're probably going to get a couple. Great work from Feguli, and it's just a decent ball into the centre, by the way. Nothing spectacular. Maybe the centre-half thinks that Montoya, the fullback, should be round. You see him there, 35 in your picture. I mean, his man. It's his wide player that comes inside and just has a nice composed, controlled finish here, almost just bringing the ball down and bounces over the top of Victor Valdez. Very simple goal when you look at it like that from Valencia.
Barcelona faithful. Wonder what they think of that. Perhaps they're getting used to this kind of thing this season. It hasn't been the Barcelona we've come to expect, especially in La Liga. And now Abidal, sloppy, dispossessed, and the frustration creeping in once more early on here inside the opening 10 minutes.
Well, all of a sudden, the Nou Camp is a very quiet stadium. I thought they started very well the first 5 minutes or so, but that's a simple goal. Just leading up to this, there was about 3 or 4 occasions where Valencia forwards got caught offside. I wonder if the Barca defenders there just kind of expecting the same to happen again. There wasn't a really good reaction. They didn't get goal side of their markers there, particularly of Piatti, obviously at the end there.
Jonas is the target. Far post, and he very nearly brought that one down. You might question the positioning of Victor Valdez on that goal as well. Either way, Barcelona, more problems creeping into their game here. And they very rarely concede here at home. But it's becoming a problem for them of late. They had not conceded up until a few weeks ago when Betis came here and scored twice, and then Real Sociedad managed to get one as well. Both of those sides were beaten by Barcelona, incidentally. Pedro looking to respond now. It's straight at Diego Alves.
Well, there's going to be a reaction. Valencia have to be ready for it. He knows there's going to be a reaction. He wants his players just to make sure they hold a good line, a good shape, almost see out this reaction in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Pedro elected to come inside. Thought he was going to do better than that, to be honest. He's got to hit one of those corners. Just looking at Barcelona's defensive record. They've got the best defensive record in the Primera.
Yes, but as you can see at the top of your screen, that's now the 3rd consecutive league match at home in which Barcelona has conceded. It's 4 now in their last 3 at the Camp Nou. They managed to come out on top in their previous 2, as I mentioned, and they're going to have to fight to come from behind here. And that is a first for Barcelona in the league this season. Montoya's cross cut out. It's a corner for Barca.
Well, it's a big job this player's got in his hands, Montoya. And we all know how Dani Alves offers so much from this right-hand side. And he's got to have the ability to get forward, the confidence to get forward and connect with those final balls in.
Messi's corner. Dealt with by Miguel. Valencia, they're dangerous on the counter-attack as well. Here's Piatti and Jonas. And Montoya slipping and conceding the throw.
I'm sure he just gets caught there, but there's Puyol's run to the near post. You see that so many times from set pieces. Didn't quite reach him.
First time this season in La Liga, Barcelona are trailing at home. So if you're only just joining us, Pablo Piatti has got the goal here for Valencia. On the end of a Sofian Feghouli cross. Really, it seemed like a harmless ball from that man into the area. And Barcelona went to sleep at the back and all punished. Montoya. Piqué. It's Puyol. Abidal. Iniesta for Pedro, and they change the point of attack out to Montoya. He has Alexis Sanchez to his right.
He's done well, hasn't he, Alexis Sanchez, in general in his first season with Barcelona, but I have to say he's different now. He really is different. I think he's changed into a combination player, looks to pass the ball a lot more, certainly for Chile and Udinese, more of a dribbling player, dangerous threat running at defenders. We don't see that so often. I think probably that's just the Barca style, just rubbing off on them a little bit, where obviously they get the ball to do most of the work. But I think there are times when you need that little bit of dribbling ability. We see it from Pedro sometimes. Obviously Messi is the king of dribbling, but I haven't seen so much of it this season from Alexis Sanchez.
This is Iniesta. And Messi. Iniesta trying to feed it out wide for Pedro. Fabregas. It's a neat ball for Messi. Montoya took a while though to arrive and help out on this right side. Final touch there from Abidal, and it's a Valencia throw.
Well, he'll work hard, won't he, Faguli? We've seen him make plenty of forward runs. Great ball into the centre here. Pablo Piatti, the other wide player. It's a real body blow for Barcelona, but they're a great side. They're the European champions. And they're going to have plenty of time to get back into this one.
Piqué turns it over to Belda. It's it first time, and he finds Piatti, who was offside. It's the fourth time already this evening that Valencia's been caught offside. They're forcing the issue, trying to catch Barcelona out. Step. Pedro's little flick doesn't come off. And Miguel was prepared for that. Pedro is isolated. Iniesta lends a helping hand, and clean challenge from Tino Costa, the Argentine midfielder. Really starting to grow in stature, seeing more time in that midfield area. In the absence of Ever Banega, who we're hearing reports today, interestingly, injured his ankle while at a gas station. He left the handbrake off, and apparently while filling up his car with petrol, the car rolled over his foot, and now he'll require surgery, which is a real blow. Ever Banega, talented player. It's Pedro now. His first touch just taking him a little wider, and that just gave Miguel an opportunity to step in and provide the block.
It's good play. Pedro just starting to find his form and his feet. He's had his injury issues this season. I think he's going to appreciate a run in a team.
Punch clear by Diego Alves, who was taken out. Wonderful. Sofian Feguli, who looks to switch it quickly. Victor Valdez on the way out to the edge of his area. And there you see the ability of Valencia, very direct at times. They come here with a plan. I should add, they've got two players who were just called up for the Brazilian national team as well, which is nothing to sneeze at. Jonas and their goalkeeper, Diego Alves. Iniesta. Fabregas. Iniesta again. Vidal. Great work, and Iniesta now in motion around Tino Costa, and it comes off of Miguel for another corner.
Well, Barcelona need a little bit of inspiration, and Iniesta's happy to provide that. That's his trademark little shuffle where he gets the ball in between his two legs and shuffles it around defenders.
Fabregas playing it short for Iniesta. Fabregas clipping it in just beyond Alexis Sanchez. And here's Lionel Messi. Barcelona this season, they may not be the same formidable side. But, you look at various aspects of that. The integration of Alexis Sanchez, says Fabregas, two high-profile signings. You also sometimes wonder, I mean, Robbie, you'll know as a former player yourself, the motivation, the ability to stay on top all the time. Do you think that's one area that perhaps creeps into a player's psychological approach?
I think it's very hard to stop that. I think Pep Guardiola in general has done a great job of stopping that. I mean, he's still won 3 trophies this season, so it's not as though, you know, obviously the league campaign is suffering, but they've still got a great chance in the Champions League, and obviously the Copa del Rey as well. So I think it's a combination of a few things. I think the injuries, the changing of the team, the changing systems, and players not being regularly in the starting lineup has affected it.
These players as well have been busy with their respective national teams, and coming up in a few months as well, we've got Euro 2012, where Spain will be the defending champion. Pedro plays it in. Messi! There's the equaliser! The little Argentine ace with his 24th goal of the league campaign. From the angle, sliding it under Diego Alves. And after 22 minutes here at the Camp Nou, we're all square again.
Well, that's good play on the left-hand side from Pedro, who gets involved. Lionel Messi, that little, I guess it's probably about a second in time, seemed to take forever, and you could see his brain working, Lionel Messi. How was he going to finish this off? Was he going to try and lob it over the keeper? He wasn't. He just lets it come down and somehow gets it through or past alongside the legs of Diego Alves.
Valencia have an issue. Miguel, let's see, they've just injured himself while stretching out for that. And it's originated from that side. Miguel's been very busy up until this point.
Yeah, just get a little bit of fortune right there. There's the touch from the central defender, Adil Rami, that just sends it right into the path of Lionel Messi. Difficult angle, but I guess if there's any player that can score from there, it's Messi, and just sneaked it past the keeper.
Messi tonight becoming the youngest ever Barcelona player to reach 200 league appearances for the club, and he's just scored his 143rd goal in the Spanish top flight in 200 appearances. It's a wonderful strike rate, but it's not good enough this season, at least. In the race for the Pichichi, Cristiano Ronaldo, the goal-scoring machine for Real Madrid, is the one out in front in that regard. And he was on the score sheet yesterday in the win over Racing Santander. Karim Benzema as well had a couple in that one. Fabregas. Barcelona repairing some of the earlier damage. Now starting to look slightly more confident. Abidal for Fabregas. No foul from Rami, at least according to the official. But that will be pulled back. The Intervention from Pedro, and they're still arguing the points.
Well, I think my first look at this was well played, the referee. I don't think this was a penalty kick there. Fabregas throws himself to the ground, in my opinion, and then it certainly was after that. I mean, then he might have just accidentally trod on his foot there at some point, but I don't think it was a penalty.
Well, Ricardo Costa is the man to come on for Valencia. Miguel forced off through injury. A couple blows now in quick succession for the visitors. Conceding the equaliser, they've now lost their Portuguese right back Miguel. Iniesta. We saw the run of Alexis Sanchez. Iniesta working hard to get it back and strips Tino Costa of possession. Straight swap Andrew Ricardo Costa normally plays as a central defender. He's going to just replace Miguel and play as a right back. He's got a job on, the 30-year-old, against Pedro. He looks up for it. Soldado. Now Piatti. He played that one a little early for Jonas. Montoya was ready for it. Space now for Messi, in which to operate. Messi going a long way. The sliding challenge from Victor Ruiz, denying Messi his second.
Yeah, he's gone on his own in the end, and why not when you've got the goals that he's got? I just wondered if he might just flick this ball, the outside of his left foot, back through to Alexis Sanchez. There, right now. Might have just been in a better situation to score a goal, and there's good defending as well, I must mention.
There's a recap of what's happening in the race to be the top scorer in Spain. Cristiano Ronaldo on 28, Lionel Messi now moving to 24. Alexis Sanchez, fresh from a couple goals midweek, away to Bayer Leverkusen. Iniesta threading it through for, it's great football as Abidal sets up Messi, and Barcelona are in front.
Well, it might not look pretty when it gets in the back of the net, but the build-up certainly was. Absolutely brilliant football from Barcelona from one side to the other side. Tremendous through balls as well. Final one going right into the path of Eric Abidal on that far side, and then a great cross. The move starts before that, but what a good ball through there. I just thought he'd lost the opportunity here, but Alves never had proper control of that ball. There's the pass there. Look at that. He's not even looking that side. He's looking through the centre. Andres Iniesta, and just plays a perfect pass there. How about that? That's not a bad cross either, is it? Lionel Messi knows where to be. And bundles it in the back of the net. 2-0. Sorry, 2-1.
25 goals now for Lionel Messi in La Liga and counting. After trailing inside the opening 10 minutes, when Pablo Piatti for his first league goal for Valencia, Lionel Messi, the FIFA World Player of the Year, has struck twice and turned the situation around for the Spanish champions.
And there's been games, Andrew, where Iniesta and Xavi haven't played in midfield, and they're just not the same. Those passes, look at that, another one, this time from Cesc.
Alexis Sanchez, denied by Diego Alves. There's Roberto Soldado. Oh, he ran straight into Sergio Busquets. And Gerard Piqué, who was fouled by Piatti. Right under the eyes of the referee.
Well, again, what a great ball, wasn't it, from Cesc this time. If it's not Xavi, if it's not Iniesta, Cesc Fabregas now is able to provide these tremendous through balls from midfield.
To Sanchez. Fabregas. You mentioned Fabregas and his ability to play a defence splitting pass. Well, we saw that, didn't we? As a prime example against Bayer Leverkusen. Now Fabregas does it on his own. Diego Alves now is a busy man between the posts for Valencia. Alexis Sanchez into the area, and Tino Costa put himself between the man and the ball after he was beaten initially by Alexis Sanchez. Well, a piece of trickery which had Tino Costa fooled, at least the first time.
I'm not sure he did anything wrong here. He just battles for the ball again, Sanchez. I mean, he's looked as sharp as a tack. And again, didn't get a chance to praise him enough on the last save, by the way. Diego Alves has made 2 in brilliant saves. This is, just watch his left hand, very quick there, reacts to that ball travelling off the boot. And again afterwards on, Cesc Fabregas went through. Brilliant goalkeeping.
It's a similar combination, wasn't it? Fabregas for Alexis Sanchez against Leverkusen. And Sanchez rounded the keeper to get his second goal of the night in his first ever start in the UEFA Champions League. And here he is, Sanchez. And the big money buy from Udinese. In total, I think he's cost to Barcelona less than 40 million euros. So Alexis Sanchez, his role up front, taking on even greater importance in the absence of David Villa.
And again, look at that. Just reacts there to where the ball goes very quickly. Great reflexes just to throw his right foot out there. But Barca right now are irresistible, by the way. You can't take your eyes off them.
Back it from Sanchez, and they enjoyed that one here at the Camp Nou. A generous round of applause. Despite the fact that they're well behind Real Madrid, they're enjoying this. How about that? The 1-2, Iniesta, and now Messi, who's on a hat-trick, into the side netting. Breathtaking in the build-up.
Now these lucky fans in the stadium to watch some of this football. Top class, absolutely top class, some of this stuff, isn't it? Just need the finishing touch there for it would have been a magnificent goal. The understanding, the one touch, the double 1-2, the dribbling ability. Just doesn't get his foot around the outside of the football that time, Messi.
The opening half hour here has been a real treat. 3 goals already, and the promise of more to come.
Well, just watching the front 3. I know there's been a little bit of rotation. I know Cesc played up there and different players have played up there, but I think Pedro left, Messi false number 9, and Sanchez on this right-hand side seems to me to be the dream ticket. The best combination right now, and certainly showed it in the last 15 minutes.
Busquets. Iniesta. Vidal. Puyol and Piqué at the back can breathe a little easier. Messi gliding by Albelda, plays in Iniesta, it's just beyond him. A sharp reaction from Diego Alves once more. A player who was called up by Mano Menezes for the upcoming friendly against Bosnia.
Some of the runs in behind, they're just so difficult to mark, particularly when Messi is there. He's 20 yards out from goal. He's got 3 players ahead of him making runs in behind. He's got different options. He can ignore those options if he wants, Messi, and jib around players. Absolute nightmare to try and defend against.
The yellow card comes out here. Saw an incident there off the ball involving Tino Costa. And Soldado wasn't happy with the treatment he got from Puyol there either. Valencia in real danger here of being swept aside.
I just think when they hit top form, you have just got to hold on and wish for the best. But even Barcelona can't be in top form all the time. We saw a slow start from Barca. Valencia made it count, and they've still got to believe that they will have other chances in this game. It's difficult to believe right now, and they're holding on in some ways. It could be 4-1 right now, but they're still in the game at 2-1.
Mathieu. Martino Costa. Rami. And Mathieu. Deep cross towards Soldado. Now Jonas. Pedro initially helping out there to win it back, and now it's with Fabregas. Messi. Fabregas trying to lure Mathieu into a false sense of security.
I'm not sure whether Mathieu knew anything about that interception. Great skill. Again, look at those saves from Diego Alves. The second one, Cesc came through, had plenty of time to really pull the trigger. Kept his team in it.
Well, that's one way of taking a corner, to retain possession and then go back the other way. Diego Alves, so showing that he is very capable between the posts, and who knows, he might end up being the #1 for Brazil come the World Cup in 2014. Although I'm sure Julio Cesar of Inter Milan will have a thing or two to say about that. Messi, and the movement from Alexis Sanchez makes it look oh so easy. Sanchez! Now once he got that extra yard on Victor Ruiz, it really opened up for him.
What you're seeing now as well is that Valencia, all the way through this first half, they've tried to keep a reasonably high line, to make it compact. Well, it started off, it was working okay. Messi and the Barcelona midfield players didn't get a lot of time on the ball. Well, now they have got time on the ball, and there's an awful lot of green grass for the players to run into when they have, and they might just see Valencia just dropping back a little deeper, because the way it's going right now, they're going to concede.
There have been several instances this season when Barcelona have dropped points that, well, they've dominated the possession as they usually do and created chances, and they haven't taken them. And it's really cost them dear this season. It's happened far too often. But here they've been successful in this first half, despite going behind. They're in front, and they look like they're going to add a third before too long.
But the thing is, Andrew, you're right. There's been games where they haven't added a third, and they've conceded, and they've drawn games. That's where they've dropped so many points. So this has been some great football. But like I said 3 minutes ago, Valencia are absolutely still in this game at 2-1.
Costa straight through Pedro. They seem to win it fair and square. Sent forward by Albelda, looking for Soldado, who's been quiet again. Tino Costa. Run us back to Victor Ruiz. Long towards Piazzi. Oh, a mismatch there with Piqué in terms of height and strength. Piqué easily bumping him off the ball. Mathieu got there first, but it's taken on with a delightful first touch from Iniesta. Now Pedro running at Ricardo Costa. And for Iniesta. Oh, it's a sumptuous chip. Oh, Fabregas off the crossbar. They keep delivering special moments.
Well, again, two runners, Messi further out, Cesc through the middle, that want to make those runs in behind, and we've talked about that position, it's Xavi's position in midfield, but I tell you what he brings, Cesc, he brings a goal threat. I mean, he's had so many chances in this first half to score.
Montoya, away by Rami, as far as Iniesta. Fabregas losing out on that occasion to Tino Costa. Messi.
See, I think that's a little better there. Victor Ruiz that time has kind of gone out all the way with Lionel Messi. Go with him, run into midfield. It doesn't matter. There should be, you've still got a central defender there in Rami that in theory has nobody to mark.
So Jonas. Feguli for Piazzi. Soldado.
And this is where they've got to be good. They've got to be good at keeping the ball. Valencia normally are. Barca normally get the ball back so quickly. That's good play now. Now they've got the time to get in the attacking third.
Feguli for Jonas. And, well, it's an awkward ball to that far side, but it comes to Rami. He's put too much on that. Oh, now this doesn't look good. The player who came on moments ago to replace the injured Miguel, Ricardo Costa, the veteran Portuguese defender, is now down and he's in some pain.
The fans wanted a foul for Barcelona here. Costa just kind of eased him out of it. Difficult to see how he hurt himself. Maybe the right knee. Press on the inside there, the medial part of the ligament there, maybe just opened that out, and that challenge. And that's where they test it there. He's going to be in trouble. I've done that a few times myself when I was playing, and David Villa.
Yeah, speaking of injuries.
Speaking of injuries, yeah, nasty injuries.
Yeah, terrible one sustained during the FIFA Club World Cup.
A great ball, wasn't it? A little scoop over from Iniesta. Cesc Fabregas did everything right, really. Nice and calm. Very, very unlucky.
It's exciting to watch the ability of Barcelona to really produce some shining moments. The manner in which they mastered the ball collectively. When they click, well, they can deliver something very special indeed. Despite the fact that they're without the likes of Mascherano, Seydou Keita, and you see Ibrahim Afellay there as well, who's back in training for Barcelona. He seems to be the forgotten man, the big signing from PSV Eindhoven. Another technically dashing winger who you would think on the surface might suit the Barcelona system in those wide areas. Certainly when everyone's fit. This next season, it will be very interesting to see how it all falls into place.
You look at it, and the signings that they made in Cesc and Alexis Sanchez, difficult to see how he's going to get in the team. I mean, David Villa's to come back. He's been playing in a wide area where Afellay normally plays as well, so difficult.
So Mascherano and Dani Alves are both suspended for this contest. Messi looking for the 1-2. And they love doing that, don't they, in tight spaces. They make the kind of pass that perhaps other players simply do not see.
Well, it's like five-a-side football. You do this in small-sided games all the time when you're training, and that's how Barcelona play. They play as if they're playing small-sided games. They're all very close to each other in support. They make angles for each other. Very, very few long passes at all from them. I prefer the safer route of small, short passes along the ground.
Messi for Fabregas. Look at where Barcelona win it back. Right on the edge of the area to keep Valencia under intense pressure. Montoya. Fabregas. This is Alexis Sanchez. Of course, they can bring it away. Sofian Fegoli and Jonas. It's better. Pablo Piatti. The sliding challenge from Alexis Sanchez. Certainly not shirking his defensive duties as well in midfield.
Fegoli's down here, just gets a stray hand from Cesc as he goes by him. I don't think there's anything malicious in it. Just a little bit unlucky. I think any player's going to just outstretch their arms in protection of the ball. There it is. It's a little high from Cesc, but he's just trying to push his arm away, I think, there in protecting the ball.
I wouldn't even call that a slap. I would almost call it a gentle caress.
Fanguli might disagree with you. I have to say, though, I've been really impressed with Fegoli on that right-hand side.
That's what it was. Fegoli's cross, which caught a distracted Barcelona defense napping. Pablo Piatti gave the visitors the lead, but the reaction from Barcelona was immediate. 2 goals from Messi in the space of 5 minutes. Means it's Barcelona 2, Valencia 1.
It's a party no one can resist.
Carter Williams up high.
Where miracles happen.
Watford for the win. Yes! Unbelievable!
And everybody wants to dance.
He feels it.
Welcome to the madness.
Oh, unbelievable!
The NCAA tournament begins March 15th on ESPN.
3, 2.
Real Snow, the Winter X Games all-urban snowboard video contest. X Games gold and 50 grand on the line.
Every night I watch you all. Every day I know. Every night when I come home, shadows start to grow. And the sun that stings from the west silhouettes you. My hungry eyes retract, afraid the shadow's true, afraid of fading too.
To see who captured gold and 50 grand, visit xgames.com/realsnow. ESPN, exclusive home of the Winter X Games. The champions return with live marquee clashes from the round of 16.
Oh, the goals keep flowing.
On Wednesday, 2 of the most explosive teams of the group stage, CSKA Moscow seek to hand Real Madrid their first loss of the tournament. Then Thursday, another live showdown as Swiss champ Basel face Bayern Munich.
Into the back of the net.
The UEFA Champions League, round of 16, Wednesday and Thursday, exclusively live on ESPN.
The world's greatest Supercross riders battle this Friday on ESPN as the series heads to Arlington, Texas for the 7th round of the season. All the racing action kicks into gear with the opener of the Eastern Lights class. Then, defending champ Ryan Filippoto targets another victory to extend the lead. But Chad Reed is primed to prove why he is the #1 contender. The chase for the AMA Supercross title. Friday on ESPN.
ESPN continues from Rotterdam for the ABN AMRO World Tennis Tournament. It's an all-star field as the new tennis season heats up in Holland. ATP World Tour 500 Tennis, the men's final, tonight on ESPN.
Paul Pierce leads the Celtics. Kevin Durant is the heart of the Thunder. It's a showdown of powerhouse teams. Celtics, Thunder, live Thursday on ESPN.
I'm James Swanwick, and coming up this week on SportsCentre at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, lots of basketball action. How much longer can the Linsanity continue? We'll bring you highlights from Jeremy Lin and the New York Knicks. In football, we'll bring you all the action from another round of FA Cup matches, plus the Liga and Champions League highlights. More Six Nations rugby news ahead of another round of matches and a whole lot more. It's all on SportsCentre weeknights at 6:30. We'll see you then.
Welcome back to the camp now, where Barcelona, the Spanish champions, found themselves for the first time this season in La Liga trailing inside the opening 10 minutes, but they turned it around. Lionel Messi with the 2 more goals on the occasion of his 200th appearance in La Liga for the Blaugrana. He's the youngest ever player in the history of this club to reach 200 in the league, and so another record goes to his name. We look back at the highlights, and this is how the goal developed for Valencia. Sofian Fegoli just fired it into the area. I'm not sure what was going on at the back there. Victor Valdez, Gerard Piqué, Martin Montoya. Well, Pablo Piatti popped up and took care of it. And then on 22 minutes, slowly but surely, you have to say, Barcelona finding their rhythm. The cross from Pedro wasn't dealt with by Victor Ruiz, and it fell invitingly for Lionel Messi. 1-1. 5 minutes later, it would be Messi again. Watch this pass. Andres Iniesta sees Eric Abidal on the overlap. The cross to Messi, who was scrappy in the end. But there is the reliable Argentine, who now has 25 goals to his name this season. And Barcelona came close to adding a couple more, if not for the heroics between the posts of Diego Alves. We'll take another break.
RBS Six Nations continues on ESPN this weekend. First up, Ireland and Italy in a must-win contest. Then later from Twickenham Stadium, England take on Wales in a battle of the undefeated. England may have the home field, but Wales have been playing inspired rugby, live and exclusive this weekend. RBS Six Nations, only on ESPN.
Hello there. All hail the champions, Zambia, for a superb victory in the African Cup of Nations. To win, they had to do it the hard way, as the 2 pre-tournament favourites stood in their path. First up was Ghana, who saw Guyana's penalty kick saved, and they were eliminated. On the final for Zambia, where mighty Ivory Coast stood in the way of a historic moment in world football. Drogba misses a penalty kick, and the rest is history. It was a great victory under any circumstances, but when you consider that in 1993, Zambia were decimated by the loss of 18 players from their national side in a horrific plane crash, it's all very plain to see the dizzying heights of Zambia's great victory. Zambia have proved that if you make the commitment to developing players, that it can be done. This was certainly a date to remember in Zambia and a date to celebrate the whole world over. What do you think? That's what's in the How Long You Bag this week. I'm Tommy Smith with a Y.
For some, the dream continues. For others, another shot at glory. But for all, time to prove they have what it takes. The knockout phase of the UEFA Europa League, round of 32. Live Thursday on ESPN.
The hard-hitting action of Friday night fights continues this Friday on ESPN. In the junior welterweight division, Mike, the silent assassin Dallas Jr., looks to bounce back with a victory as he takes on Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez. Plus, the latest boxing news from around the world, commentary and interviews. Friday Night Fights, Friday on ESPN.
The champions return with live marquee clashes from the round of 16.
Oh, the goals keep flowing.
On Wednesday, two of the most explosive teams of the group stage, CSKA Moscow, seek to hand Real Madrid their first loss of the tournament. Then Thursday, another live showdown as Swiss champ Basel face Bayern Munich.
Into the back of the net.
The UEFA Champions League, round of 16, Wednesday and Thursday, exclusively live on ESPN.
Prepare for your bones to rattle. Raw speed and power. Noise and flame mightiness. The loudest machines on the planet are here to roar. NHRA drag racing. It's louder on ESPN.
ESPN brings you the NBA All-Star Game on February 27th, featuring the best players in the game in a showdown in Orlando. Plus, all the excitement of the All-Star Weekend, beginning February 24th, including the slam dunk and three-point shooting contests. It's a dream weekend for basketball fans. Don't miss the NBA All-Star Weekend and All-Star Game on ESPN.
The complete picture from round 24 of La Liga. Real Madrid, the big winners over Racing Santander to put themselves 13 points clear of the top. It's up to Barcelona to respond. They got their noses in front here, thanks to Lionel Messi at home to Valencia. But they haven't put the visitors away just yet, despite a few good chances to do so. We'll take another break. The second half is next.
The 1981 race was only ever going to be about two men and two boats. The Netherlands' Connie van Rietschoten on Flyer and skippering Saramco New Zealand, Peter Blake. As the Dutchman surged ahead, for the second race in a row, Blake was dealing with a dismasting. From the moment van Rietschoten and Blake left Cape Town and headed south towards the icebergs and towering waves of the Southern Ocean, it was offshore racing at its fiercest. Something had to give.
Connie had a heart attack. Julian Fuller, our doctor, he just completed his training and he wanted to speak to Saramco. They had a cardiologist on board. He wanted to get advice. Connie said, absolutely no way. They're going to push even harder. I'm not going to let them know that.
Van Rietschoten recovered from his heart attack and refused to miss a mile of the race he had dedicated his life to winning. With a multinational crew dominated by Dutch and New Zealanders, Flyer was pushed all the way by Peter Blake. But it was van Rietschoten who sailed into Portsmouth first to complete an historic double of race victories and in a world record time for a circumnavigation of the globe.
It's a party no one can resist. Where miracles happen.
Watford for the win! Yes! Unbelievable!
And everybody wants to dance.
He feels it.
Welcome to the madness.
Oh, unbelievable!
The NCAA tournament begins March 15th on ESPN.
RBS Six Nations continues on ESPN this weekend. First up, Ireland and Italy in a must-win contest. Then later from Twickenham Stadium, England take on Wales in a battle of the undefeated. England may have the home field, but Wales have been playing inspired rugby, live and exclusive this weekend. RBS Six Nations only on ESPN. For some, the dream continues. For others, another shot at glory. But for all, time to prove they have what it takes. The knockout phase of the UEFA Europa League, round of 32. Live Thursday on ESPN.
Paul Pierce leads the Celtics. Kevin Durant is the heart of the Thunder. It's a showdown of powerhouse teams. Celtics, Thunder, live Thursday on ESPN.
Can you take it to the house on the frozen tundra? Kick it past the keeper for the win. Smack a dinger deep in the yard. ESPNarcade.com has hundreds of games, all for free. Get a piece of the action now at ESPNarcade.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of La Liga here on ESPN. Alongside Robbie Mustoe, I'm Andrew Worsati. At halftime here at the Camp Nou, Barcelona leading Valencia by 2-1. They had to come from behind to get in front, but when they finally got going, you know, some of the football was just breathtaking. Not only did they score twice through Lionel Messi, but also Cesc Fabregas hit the crossbar. He also had one effort denied. Diego Alves, as did Alexis Sanchez. And Valencia really found themselves on their heels in the latter stages of the first half. Victor Valdez and company at the back. Questions will be asked of them and the manner in which they conceded that goal scored by Pablo Piatti inside the opening 10 minutes, which reopened some old wounds, the kind that we've seen far too often for a Barcelona team that may have had hopes of defending their league crown for a fourth consecutive season. But at this rate, that is simply not going to happen. A win here would mean that they are back to within 10 points of Real Madrid. What do you expect in this second half, Robbie?
Well, I think if you're a Barcelona fan, you expect or hope for the same type of football. I think if you're a Valencia fan, you expect them or hope them to hold on and to get another chance. There probably will be another chance. The next goal is critical. If Barca score the next goal, then it looks a little bit bleak for Valencia. But at the moment, at 2-1, they've got to believe, they've got to keep their shape, work very hard defensively, and be ready to counter-attack, be ready to throw people forward, because that's what you have to do.
No changes at the break, and that includes Ricardo Costa, the Portuguese right-back for Valencia, who took a knock to his right knee but has stayed on after he replaced Miguel early on. Alexis Sanchez pops up, and just like that, Barcelona have come close again.
And yet again, it's Diego Alves who comes to Valencia's rescue. He's got to be thinking, my goodness, surely we've got to take one of these chances. Great football again, just a simple 1-2, chipped over the top, and Alexis Sanchez, who's been outstanding in this game so far, probably should have scored again.
Andres Iniesta. Gerard Piqué. Sanchez, who's onside. A return for Iniesta, who got the final touch. Hector Ruiz or Adil Rami is the answer. Barcelona give themselves a corner kick here to be taken by Fabregas. And short to Sanchez. Pedro. Iniesta. Over the top for Busquets. It was met by Rami. Vidal. Okay. Send Montoya on the far side. Sanchez. Intelligent little flick from Iniesta. Fabregas. Well, he loves to attack. Very direct from Fabregas, and it was a wonderful attempt as well. Looking to creep inside that far post, and guess who? Diego Alves responds.
I think he was always looking to pass this ball off, but I think the further he got, I think he thought, okay, I can go all the way here, and that might have just curled in off that far post there. Great run from Cesc.
Two chances already since the restart. And we've only had 3.5 minutes since they came out. There might be another here. PK was the one lurking as Adil Rami put in the sliding challenge. This is a rare opportunity for Piatti to stretch his legs. Faced by Abidal. Piatti, the goal scorer early on, his first for the club in La Liga since joining from Almeria. And that will be a relief to him to get the monkey off his back. Jonas. Messi was alert. And now Barcelona threatening once more. Alexis Sanchez waited and made a poor decision in the end. Well, Valencia can't get out. It was Tino Costa who was robbed again, and Fabregas trying to barge his way through, picked up by Messi. Fabregas, oh, and that doesn't come through as Messi was completely unmarked, waiting to tap home for a hat-trick.
They might have been apart for a long time, Messi and Cesc Fabregas, but the understanding is still there, isn't it? They always look for each other on the ball. Alexis Sanchez hasn't quite got that same understanding just yet with his teammates.
So recap of the starting 11: Valdez, Puyol, Piqué, Abidal, Montoya, Busquets, Iniesta, Fabregas, Pedro, Messi and Sanchez. That's the starting 11 for Barcelona. So no Xavi, who's on the bench after all his injury problems. He's not the only one. Dani Alves and Javier Mascherano suspended. David Villa, Ibrahim Afellay still out injured. No Seydou Keita either. Messi. Jesus, Busquets is the one mopping up in midfield. Busquets for Fabregas. To Pedro. There's Iniesta. Sanchez. Fouled by Ruiz. It's been all Barcelona for a good while, especially since coming out for the second half. Pedro's offside. He hasn't seen the flag.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's the right decision there. Costa does well here, just reads the play, sees Iniesta's intentions and knows where his defenders are, his partners are, and he knows he can safely step up there.
Pedro could do with a goal for his confidence. He's only scored once this season in La Liga, remarkably, in his 14 appearances. And that was against Valencia at the Mestalla in the 2-2 draw. You compare that to the fact that he scored 25 league goals in the previous 2 seasons.
just think it's been disjointed, isn't it, Andrew? He's been in and out of the team a little bit. He's never really had a good run of games where he can really get into his top form. And I think that's what Guardiola needs from all of his team, all his star players, particularly going into the crucial part of the season when the Champions League is back in play. He needs his best players to get out there and play regularly.
Such as Messi, who never seems to tire. He's always available, irrespective of the kind of occasion. Iniesta. Kicks out Sanchez. Sanchez, who's got 8 league goals to his name in his first season with the club. Taking on Mathieu.
Just about does enough, doesn't he, Mathieu? Very, very sharp Sanchez in this game there. Prepared to take him on around the outside, almost manages it. So he went through earlier on. Another good save from Thiago Alves. How is it 2-1 still?
Oh, Puyol looks to the referee, claiming he was bumped from behind. Now Iniesta! Gee, that wasn't far away. Puyol still arguing the point. See it here.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get it. I don't think you're going to get it. A big reaction there. This looked like a tremendous effort, didn't it? How did that not? I just think he's just slightly in a different angle to where the ball is. There's a little bit of an arm on the shoulder, but in a set piece when players are going for it, he's not going to get that.
Fabregas. Alexis Sanchez. Pumped away by Diego Alves and Mathieu. Just hooking it away to safety. As Valencia struggle to deal with these wave after wave of Barcelona attacks.
Sometimes when they think the ball is going to go back, they try and close that down, then the ball goes in behind them again. Just got enough bend on it, and Puyol just keeps on at the referee there, maybe just to get him to watch out for the next one, that he might get the decision.
Iniesta coming desperately close there to making it 3-1. The Spanish international midfielder who has not scored this season in La Liga. Might come as a surprise to one. In fact, if you look at their return in midfield, Fabregas is the second highest goal scorer for them behind Messi, 9 goals in La Liga.
Just a little bit soft, a little bit light on weight from Lionel Messi that time to Alexis Sanchez, who was ready to pull the trigger. No respite for the players in white, is there at all? There you go, here's the next one.
Montoya gets there first. So Abidal. Busquets got a toe there, and so good at anticipating the play in midfield. And now an opportunity perhaps for Valencia through Ricardo Costa. On the line for Feguli. Messi. Fabregas.
I think it's important when you look at some of the performances from the Barcelona players. Very important for the team, for the club going forward. Sergio Busquets again's had a bit of a funny season with injuries and being out the side. Iniesta certainly had a disjointed season. I think it's good for the fans to see those two playing so well, so positive. Particularly Iniesta looks very, very sharp.
Busquets to Sanchez in space.
Well, they've played some great football, Andrew. They've created a lot of chances, Barcelona. And there's still a feeling that Valencia can get something from the game. They need a third goal, simple as that, I feel. I think there will be another chance at some point. If it continues at 2-1, I still believe Valencia will get a chance to score.
So a foul by Adil Rami on Lionel Messi. Piqué. Busquets. Messi. They enjoyed that. The manner in which he evaded the challenge from Fegoli. There it is again.
Yeah, clever little drag back. There it is. Takes it away. Iniesta again. Tremendous in tight areas, both of those players.
You think of Barcelona and what they're capable of. If they have a team close to full strength for the closing part of this season, can anyone match them on the European stage? That's the burning question. Montoya's cross for Messi! Still, they can't find a third. Spectacular reflexes from Diego Alves to tip that onto the frame of his goal. How did Messi not bag his hat-trick there?
Well, again, I mean, there's been a lot of good performers, mostly in Barcelona team colours, but I'd say the man of the match is this guy here, Diego Alves. How many saves has he made that you'd expect him to have no right to make there? He might have just thrown his hands up in the air, but again, he gets such an important touch on it, onto the crossbar. What a game this guy's having.
We've seen some goalkeepers come here and have extraordinary performances in the past. Messi into the wall. And I guess from time to time you're going to get that, because it's inevitable that Barcelona will dominate possession and create chances at home especially. And your last line of defence, if he's on his game, well, might just come away with man of the match honours in probably a losing team.
Well, if Valencia do get anything, if they get a point out of this game, or even better, he is the first player that they should all go very quickly to thank. Right now, it looks like there's no possibility, doesn't there, of Valencia getting anything from the game. They've camped in their own half. They can't get the ball back from Barca. I think as long as it stays 2-1, Barcelona are going to be absolutely determined to get that third goal.
You think of the problems they've had this season, it makes you wonder, Guardiola, it might be on his mind, is there something missing in the team for next season if he's looking at the manner in which they were unable to be so consistent? Is it an issue with the depth or something else? So when they're all fit, no question, I think the Barcelona starting 11 probably picks itself. A few positions here or there, but they've been reminded that they have to keep working if they're going to see off a team like Real Madrid over the long haul.
I think, again, I think defensively they need a little bit of cover. Let's face it, Puyol, Piqué. Mascherano's done a very good job here, gets more space here.
But attacking-wise, they just keep flying. Cesc Fabregas had too much time. With the goal at his mercy, that's a horrible miss. Maybe Alves wasn't required on that occasion, at least not on the follow-up.
He was required on the first one here. Just puts his hand, does this bobble? I think it does. Just jumps up a little bit on Cesc. He's looking at it, and I'll give him a bit of a benefit of the doubt there, Andrew.
He put his boot through that one. Went for power. Earlier, the incident involving Abidal and Soldado, didn't seem to be much in that. So Valencia clutching at straws. So you get a feeling that they almost panic when they're in the attacking half. You can just sense that there must be a Barcelona player around, doubling up, applying the kind of pressing and the area of their game that has been a feature in their 3 consecutive league titles, the manner in which they've been able to recover possession so quickly.
Not sure whether he even hits in the face there from the replay from Eric Abidal and Roberto Soldado. The type of player is Soldado that you won't see throughout the game, but he'll just pop up and get a goal at a key moment. Hardly seen him touch the ball at all, really, have we? Was that lone striker, Jonas, in behind again. Similarly, not much action in the second half.
Figurely there, attempting the spectacular. There's a yellow card in the meantime. It's a hard night for Valencia. Jonas. Oh, Busquets there. Perhaps had a boot raised and then the arm took care of it. Messi. Just wonderful for Pedro. Alexis Sanchez can't get there in time. Another chance goes begging.
I mean, it's almost like every attack they look like scoring, or they should score. Brilliant play again there, the timing of it all. Pedro just cleverly just hangs back and waits for the through ball. That's just a little bit too firm.
Jordi Alba comes on to replace Pablo Piatti, the man who opened the scoring for Valencia inside the opening 10 minutes. And on in his place is the left-sided player, Jordi Alba, who also has been capped by the Spanish national team. Just like Jordi Alba will slot in at left back here, and it will give Jeremy Mathieu opportunity to move further up the field.
Yeah, there might be an element of interchanging because both players can play in both positions, but something a little different for Valencia.
Costa. Jonas. Albelda for Fegoli. Tino Costa. Jonas takes over. Looking for Soldado. And Piqué puts in the header. Fegoli on the volley. And Victor Valdez, who's had absolutely nothing to do for the last hour or so, has come up with a crucial stop.
Well, that's what it's all about for Victor Valdez. Concentration when you've done nothing for 60-odd minutes now. But this is the chance that I talked about. Barcelona do not want the ball anywhere near their 18-yard box. They're not comfortable. They don't like defending. They want to have the ball. What a good save that was. Strong hand from Victor Valdez.
Victor Valdez again. Got a piece of that. Well, the best chance of the second half for Valencia to get back on level terms. And this, of course, reminds us of the kind of issues that Barcelona have been facing all season. Not putting their opponents away and then forced to drop points. Pedro is the player to come off. And Teo, the young attacker, who's made a contribution this season in the goal-scoring department. He's had 2 goals in only 3 appearances in La Liga.
I think maybe for Pedro, Pep Guardiola is just making sure he's not going to give him too much too soon on his injury issues, but I thought he looked very, very good in this game. Assisted for 1 goal, looked sharp, good on the ball, back to his pace and the energy that we're used to seeing from Pedro.
Perhaps Christian Teo, the 20-year-old youth product here, can resolve their problem up front as they still go in search of this 3rd goal, which you have to say would probably put Valencia away. He's scored in his last 2 outings. Fabregas, Busquets. Here's Iniesta. Fabregas finding Teo. Well, an introduction and an impact he's made this season. A few opportunities he's had. He's really taken the opportunity with both hands.
We've seen Cuenca, another young player, come through the system and make an impact in the first team. And Teo again. Looks a similar type of player, comfortable with the ball, looking to link up, looking to combine little 1-2s.
Here's Teo again. Blocked by Ricardo Costa, who's injured himself in the process. Busquets! Safely held by Diego Alves. Matthews trapped. Absolutely no way out for Valencia. Iniesta. Well, the run comes from Teo. We were expecting that pass. So Rami brings it away. Highly rated French international defender is Adil Rami. But tonight really is the acid test. Away from home against the reigning Spanish, European and World Club champions. Guardiola's men have been almost flawless until this season. La Liga, or any domestic competition like this, it's a real marathon. And Real Madrid have been setting a cracking pace. Oh, Jordi Alba, I thought was going to get there.
I just expected Victor Valdez to be there for that ball, just to read that ball that was chipped over the top. It just scooted through to him, Valdez, but it's a good run, good bit of movement, good bit of play from Valencia. Jordi Alba will offer that from that left-hand side. He'll make runs inside to try and get involved and give Montoya maybe some more problems.
Soldado loitering with intent. And Victor Valdez now, who's becoming increasingly busy. He's already made a fabulous save to deny Feguli what would have been the equaliser. It's astonishing to think that Barcelona could throw away more points here after the manner in which they've dominated. Alexis Sanchez, he's had his chances as well.
That's what they wanted before, this little tug. There is a little tug there, but the officials, the referee certainly isn't looking at it, and that's a long way, I guess, for the assistant to look across as well, through body. So Joe Piqué just got away with that one.
Which explains why Jordi Alba slowed down when I thought he was away there. You sense a slight improvement now in Valencia.
Yeah, also a slowness in Barcelona. Just to come down a couple of notches in terms of their tempo and performance level. Just a little frustrated. They haven't managed to score after creating probably 10 really good chances.
And they will look to slow things down and almost take a breather at some stage, but that might come at the wrong time, just as Valencia begin to grow in stature. They've already had one gilt-edged opportunity, and they're seeing more of the ball now. Albelda. Back to Rami. Even if Barcelona's chasing, it represents an improvement for Valencia. Been starved of the ball. Tino Costa. And Jordi Alba.
It's the hardest way to play against Barcelona, but it's the best way if you can have a period in the game where you outpossess them, where you make them run around. It's the last thing they want to do is run around to try and get the ball back. That's why they go so strong to get it in the first few seconds of giving it away. But if you can manage to get a few passes together regularly, then these players are going to start to tire.
Not surprisingly, Guardiola is responding here, sensing a lull perhaps in his team. Thiago Alcantara, the young midfielder, is about to come on. It's a throw to Valencia.
It's difficult, isn't it? Difficult for the officials to see who gets the last touch there. Interesting to see who comes off for Thiago. Guessing probably Iniesta's been out for a little while. They don't want to give him too much work.
This is Christian Teo. The rebound falls to Lionel Messi. His hat-trick.
I was just thinking Messi had gone a little quiet in this second half. Hadn't seen much of the ball, wasn't dribbling with it so much. Just maybe lost a little bit of belief. They hadn't scored, but Teo, great work from him on this near side. And this obviously is his little move, isn't it? The little step inside with the right foot, goes around the outside, again works the goalkeeper, which Barca have done all the way through. This time Messi is in the right place, and this time he finally gets the ball past Diego Alves. 3-1 now for Barcelona. That should be it.
It's his fifth hat-trick in La Liga this season. And now Lionel Messi moves to 26 goals on the campaign. It means he's 2 behind Cristiano Ronaldo. In the meantime, says Fabregas having come off for Thiago Alcantara, as Barcelona can breathe a little easier now, getting that all-important third goal, which should make the point safe. Teo did everything right, and then the most fundamental of mistakes.
Talk about doing the hard part well. I mean, I tell you, and it was difficult, and he has got a little move there, hasn't he, Andrew? He's got some acceleration. Brilliant little move, great move there with the outside of his left foot, and I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe he's looking up to see who to pass the ball to and forgets to look down to see where the ball is.
Did you see the look on Ricardo Costa's face as Teo went by him? Priceless. He basically gave up. He said, well, there you go. You've clearly outfoxed me. And Mathieu now. Well, that's a safe take from Victor Valdez when it needed to be. Feguli was at the back post just waiting for the tap in. Here goes Messi again. Teo. Messi. Back for Iniesta. Plays the most unlikely of passes there for Busquets. Covered a lot of ground to get into the area.
What's hard to describe, Andrew, and we have a... Oh, just break off here. What I was going to say is we have a... You know, you see in the replays, you see in the game, the viewers from a high angle. You see all the movement, you see all the passes, and it's easy to forget how difficult it is when you're down there at head height to see through bodies, to see runs, to see, you know, if that ball is on, to see the passing lanes. It looks so easy from above, but I tell you, trust me, it's not. And that ball from Iniesta and so many other passes, they are so difficult to see.
Piqué aiming for that one. And the strike over. And Piqué's header struck the face of Ricardo Costa.
Piqué getting up and getting a good firm header on it initially. Comes back down again, difficult to control after that, but he always fancies his chances. I think he's a frustrated striker, isn't he, Gerard Piqué?
Rami providing the block, and now it's with Feguli. There's Jonas.
I think Sergio Busquets as well has been back to nearly his best, you know. He's done a lot of good work, a lot of work that people maybe don't see or would recognise, but he has been there all the time, making tackles, interceptions. He's been very safe as well in possession of the football.
I was about to say, he's been everywhere.
I saw his game against Leverkusen, and he had probably one of the worst games I've seen him have in terms of giving the ball away. His touch wasn't good, passing was off.
Teo for Messi. Who's arriving? Thiago Alcantara is the answer.
It's a different dimension, doesn't it? Says Fabregas, a different dimension, a goal threat. A player that loves to get in the forward. There's a little exchange here, he's joking around. I think.
Interesting, to say the least. The kind of thing, I guess, that can happen from time to time when you're living out of each other's pockets for what, 10 months of the year?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he was joking around or whether it was something that Pep didn't like, something he said, maybe.
Sanchez and Messi just toying with Valencia. Oh, Rami, it's a terrible mistake. Teo now, it's opened up for him. Well, he could have made it 3 from 3. He's been in good goal-scoring form, and that was a glorious opportunity.
I mean, Messi's managed to score 3 goals. He's probably missed 3 others, and he's set up probably every player in the midfield and attacking lineup. He's done everything. Teo, he's got to take these chances, by the way. He's got to get a bit more ruthless. I'm sure his manager might say to him afterwards, listen, you get into some unbelievable positions, you need to score.
Mehmet Topal, who scored a memorable goal during the week in the 1-0 victory away to Stoke City in the round of 32 of the Europa League, is the man to come on for Tino Costa. Xavi still warming up for Barcelona, hoping to get some minutes under his belt to make his return to competitive action.
I wonder right now, you know, Valencia, you think about what they've done in the last 4 days. Have they been to 2 ends of the footballing scale or what? Britannia Stadium in Stoke and got beat up, bullied, longboard. They've come away with a win, and then of course they've come to the new camp 4 days later, and it's a totally different proposition.
wonder if, like Valencia, Barcelona could do it on a wet night in Stoke. Robbie? Well, they're looking for a fourth. Iniesta, well, it was a simple pass to play for Messi, but sometimes the simplest things are complex. Guardiola making a number of points there, irrespective of the fact here that they're leading 3-1. He wants to make sure that every detail is perfect here in these final stages. And I think you said it earlier, ruthless is the problem in front of goal.
Yeah, I think they need to zero in now, Barcelona. If they're going to go all the way and try and retain this Champions League trophy, that no team has done it in the Champions League era, then he's got to get his team back into full flow. No sloppiness, back to their best, get the players out there, the ones he wants or thinks is the best team if he can, with injuries, and get him back up to full steam.
There's Jonas. Matthew. That tactical switch on the left side hasn't made a great difference. They've been carved open. Messi! What a finish! 4 goals for Lionel Messi! Messi 4, Valencia 1. And he's closing in on Cristiano Ronaldo. That's 27 for the campaign in his 23rd appearance. What an incredible goal-scoring ratio.
Wow, what an incredible goal. What an incredible pass from Sergio Busquets. Talked about his work that he does. Sometimes unseen, but this was a brilliant through ball. It really was. We all saw the run, but could he make it through there? Well, he absolutely did. Look at that for the pace. Lionel Messi. I mean, we're not surprised, are we? He can do anything with that football. Just love that, though. Love that ball. Slide rule. And just a little scoop there into the back of the net. What a night Lionel Messi has had.
It's a wonderful moment for the Barcelona faithful to see Xavi Hernandez back, replacing Andres Iniesta. For the final 5 minutes, not including stoppages here, Barcelona are cruising now, thanks to Lionel Messi, who's scored all 4 goals here. And even by his standards, this represents a new height, at least in this campaign. It's the first time this season that he scored 4 goals in a single match. And Messi has been doing it on all fronts. 7 goals, he's the top scorer in the UEFA Champions League as well. He got the 3rd and final goal midweek away to Bayer Leverkusen, which is all but wrapped up Barcelona's progress to the quarterfinals of that competition. A return leg to come here at the Camp Nou. Hard to see the Germans fighting their way back into that tie. Not so sure if it bothers Messi too much whether or not he finishes on top of the scoring charts. Cristiano Ronaldo did it last season in record style when he reached 40 goals. It's never been done before in a single La Liga campaign. And Messi and he are going head-to-head once more.
I just think Lionel Messi just likes playing football, Andrew, doesn't he? Just likes playing, wants to play all the time, just likes getting on the ball, he likes scoring, he likes passing the ball, he likes dribbling. I don't think he thinks about anything else, just going out there and enjoying himself.
And I make the point again, Robbie, if Barcelona, after what they've experienced this season, are starting to come good again, and that puts all of Europe on notice. Of course, we don't know what the future holds for them. If they get by Bayer Leverkusen, the draw has to be made again for the quarterfinals. So something also goes into the luck of the draw. But if you look at the potential teams that could knock them off in this competition? Real Madrid, perhaps?
Listen, if they're in this form and they've got their best team out there, I don't think the luck of the draw comes into it. They're not going to be bothered who they get. I mean, who is going to stop them in this form? We've seen them beat Real Madrid this season.
Well, they've faced Real Madrid, haven't they, in the groups? Or AC Milan, I should say, in the group stage. And there was a couple of close ones. Well, no, Bayern Munich, we'll have to just wait and see.
Nah, listen, Barcelona firing on all cylinders, forget it. Everybody else can forget it. It's just whether you get them in a two-legged situation where they might have a few injuries. We've seen that they are vulnerable now and again to conceding goals. They might have one of the nights that they've had this season where they haven't managed to score. They haven't managed to kill off teams. Inter Milan a couple of years ago, Andrew, they found a way of defending like mad, but still having talented players to catch them on a counter-attack. So it's possible. And this game is proven to be just a nudge, a reminder to everybody that, hey, we might not have had a vintage campaign domestically in the league, but we still are an unbelievable football team.
So Thiago Alcantara and Alexis Sanchez getting that one wide after Xavi Hernandez had come close moments earlier. Into the final minute of the regulation 90, and Barcelona hungry for more.
You know, if Real Madrid weren't in La Liga for some reason, right, or we'd be looking at Real Madrid, we'd be thinking, my goodness, they have got every chance of beating Barcelona. But they're in the same league, and we see them when they both go for it, when they both put their best teams out. I'm afraid Barcelona have come out on top in Guardiola's period in charge. So they, you would say, will be the closest team to Barcelona. And I'm sure they'll still fancy their chances over two legs, but they wouldn't be favourites.
It has been a remarkable era for the club. Four-time European champions. And, three of them have come in the last 6 years. Frank Rijkaard, of course, enjoyed success with the club, and Pep Guardiola has picked up where he left off. There might be a fifth here. It's a sumptuous finish. How about that? And welcome back, Xavi Hernandez. You've been missed.
Well, one president looks very happy, and the other one, Manuel Llorente, the president of Valencia, looks a little miserable. It's been a tough week, and maybe there's some tiredness. Difficult game in the Europa League against Stoke City. Well, look at that there. What about that for a touch from Xavi? Again, there's no surprise who's involved, who's poking balls through, who's asking questions, making defenders stretch for the ball. And of course, Xavi Hernandez has the composure and the class just to simply lob it over a goalkeeper that's been probably man of the match in a lot of ways, Thiago Alba. Just what the scoreline, imagine what it could have been if he would have been in goal.
Well, for Xavi, that's his 7th goal of the campaign in La Liga. I guess in goal scoring terms, you could say for Xavi, this is one of his better campaigns. Montoya's cross. A brief respite here for Valencia. So Montoya coming back and committing the foul there. Montoya making his first appearance of the season in the absence of Dani Alves.
It's the 3rd place team as well in La Liga against the 2nd place team, and yet it seems so far in terms of golfing quality.
Well, 3 minutes were meant to be added on, but they didn't reach that mark. Not that it mattered. Pep Guardiola's men have been sparkling here tonight at the Camp Nou, led by that man, Lionel Messi, who is the 2nd highest scorer in La Liga. 4 goals to his name in a 5-1 romp of Valencia. That takes him to 27 for the season. And he is now just one behind Cristiano Ronaldo in the race for the Pichichi. Xavi after several weeks out, returns to the side and adds a fifth as Messi takes the match ball home with him. Yet another hat-trick, and he's even gone one better for the first time this season. He scored 4 goals in a single match. Overall, Valencia completely outplayed in a lopsided contest between second and third.
Yeah, it was some game. Absolute joy to watch it. A joy, I'm sure, to be in the stadium to witness this incredible performance. And Lionel Messi again, absolutely fantastic footballer.
I'm James Swanwick, and coming up this week on SportsCentre at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, lots of basketball action. How much longer can the Linsanity continue? We'll bring you highlights from Jeremy Lin and the New York Knicks. In football, we'll bring you all the action from another round of FA Cup matches, plus the Liga and Champions League highlights. More Six Nations rugby news ahead of another round of matches and a whole lot more. It's all on SportsCentre weeknights at 6:30. We'll see you then.
The champions return with live marquee clashes from the round of 16.
Oh, the goals keep flowing.
On Wednesday, 2 of the most explosive teams of the group stage, CSKA Moscow, seek to hand Real Madrid their first loss of the tournament. Then Thursday, another live showdown as Swiss champs Basel face Bayern Munich.
Into the back of the net.
The UEFA Champions League round of 16, Wednesday and Thursday, exclusively live on ESPN.
The world's greatest Supercross riders battle this Friday on ESPN as the series heads to Arlington, Texas for the 7th round of the season. All the racing action kicks into gear with the opener of the Eastern Lights class. Then, defending champ Ryan Villopoto targets another victory to extend the lead. But Chad Reed is primed to prove why he is the #1 contender. The chase for the AMA Supercross title. Friday on ESPN.
Some of the stories doing the rounds today on soccernet.com. AC Milan beating Cesena to move back in front of Juventus at the top of Italy's Serie A. Raul, the veteran Spanish striker, scoring his 400th career goal in Schalke's win over Wolfsburg in the German Bundesliga. And in the FA Cup in England, Liverpool defeated Brighton by a massive scoreline. Tottenham surprisingly held by lower division Stevenage, and that will go to a replay. Of course, for more on these stories, log on to soccernet.com and be sure to check out the press pass links when we debate all of the hot topics. Here between Barcelona and Valencia, the visitors, third on the table, surprisingly took the lead thanks to Pablo Piatti.
And that's just a bad goal to concede. There's 2 players there. Look at that. Piqué is there, Montoya's there. That is not good, and I think Pep Guardiola certainly on Monday morning maybe is going to address that.
After that, it was all Barca. Pedro with the cross. And it fell to Lionel Messi, who from that acute angle managed to squeeze it under the body of the impressive Diego Alves.
Yeah, it really was. He makes the run there. The space is there for Messi. There's a little touch that comes through that puts it right into his path. Doesn't matter how many defenders are there. He's got that little bit of run on that nearest player. There's Ramil's little touch. And I'll tell you what, I enjoyed that finish, you know.
5 minutes later, it was Messi again. Iniesta waiting for the opportune moment to deliver that pass for Abidal, and Messi does the rest at the back post.
There's a fine finish, a lovely ball in there from Iniesta. There it is, look at that, don't watch the eyes. I'm going to play it across the other side. Nacho doesn't react quick enough, Lionel Messi certainly does.
Just before half-time, Iniesta for Fabregas, almost picture perfect. And they really started to put a lot of pressure on Valencia at this point.
Just a very difficult finish and a great ball from Iniesta again.
Early in the second half, they picked up where they had left off as Alexis Sanchez tested Diego Alves, the Brazilian international shot stopper, who certainly did his reputation no harm this evening between the posts for Valencia. There was this opportunity as well. Iniesta picking up the loose ball and looking for that top corner. That was so close. Barcelona were struggling, weren't they, to find a third and to make the point safe. On the hour mark, Montoya for Messi. Reflex stop from Diego Alves. Another Great save from him.
It just wouldn't come, that third goal, an important third goal for them as well. And now Alves with another spectacular save.
Eventually, though, the pressure would tell, as Sofiane Feghouli had that half chance out of nothing. Victor Valdez with an impressive stop. It would have been 2-2, but then it started to go horribly wrong for Valencia as Barcelona patiently went about their business. The young substitute, Christian Teo, into the area with the strike. Saved by Diego Alves, and the rebound falls to Messi, who bags his hat-trick on the occasion of his 200th appearance in La Liga for Barcelona.
Yeah, Teo came on to this near side and was very lively. Certainly ran at his defender every time he had the ball. Surprised that Albalde didn't do better job there of trying to block that shot from Messi.
In the dying stages, Valencia were out of gas and Barcelona were in the mood for more. Messi! Well, you know what's coming next. His 4th goal, and that's 27 on the campaign.
Big smiling face from Lionel Messi, the absolute star man in this game. Great ball that time, though, from Sergio Busquets.
It was time for one more, scored by the substitute, Xavi Hernandez, healthy again after his calf problems. Comes off the bench to make the final score. Barcelona 5, Valencia 1. They're still 10 points behind Real Madrid, who defeated Racing Santander convincingly yesterday. Cristiano Ronaldo, the top scorer in La Liga with 28 goals, opened the scoring.
Yeah, he did. Simple header this time. Sergio Ramos just nodded it across Kaká. This is a really nice finish, you know, from Karim Benzema. I think it's just over the line before he gets bundled there, but he was offside half a yard. I saw this as a great ball from Xabi Alonso, but this was a really nice, clever little dink over the goalkeeper.
I'm not sure whether that goal had been ruled out. It would make a big difference. Racing Santander have been struggling at the wrong end of the table. Nothing they could do about that. Angel Di Maria, take a bow.
Well, he's been a revelation this season. He really has. Been out for a long time with injury. But at this point, really, just so easy for Real Madrid. It really was against a Racing team that's, I guess, one of the worst performances I've seen for a long time in La Liga.
Karim Benzema, who's been much improved this season, lean and mean, with 2 goals to his name. 4-0 it finished. Finally, the clash here between Sporting Gijón and Atletico Madrid. And what was an own goal from Roberto Canella, but it was Adrian Lopez with the initial strike.
He's done well, hasn't he, Adrian? He really has come into this football club and he's made a real impact. He's young, he's got good pace, playing well.
Adrian Colunga with the cross here, and it falls for Sebastian Eguren, the Uruguayan midfielder, who makes it 1-1. Atletico Madrid have been flying under Diego Simeone, dropping points here on the road.
An unlikely goal, unusual goal for Eguren, doesn't get many.
But Atletico Madrid look at that as an opportunity lost as they look to finish among the top 4. Of course, it's very tight. The likes of Athletic Bilbao, who defeated Malaga by 3-0, right in the mix. Villarreal's problems continue in the relegation dogfight. They were beaten 4-0 by Mallorca this weekend. As we take a look at the standings, Real Madrid and Barcelona 10 points the difference, and then another 11 points back. Valencia, after their loss at the Camp Nou tonight. Espanyol, Athletic Bilbao tied on points, and then Atletico Madrid and Levante just a point back, and then there's a group there. Rayo Vallecano, Malaga, Osasuna, all on 31 points, all within striking distance. The top half of the table is turning into a gripping battle in the race for 4. Sevilla have been forced into the bottom half of the table, and you look at the relegation zone. Racing Santander's there with Sporting Gijón and Real Zaragoza. Villarreal and Real Betis are the ones just outside the drop zone. As we move into the crucial final months of the campaign, hard to see Barcelona getting back into the title picture, but if they keep winning like this, you just never know. But they have to hope and pray that Real Madrid drop points in a big way. Lionel Messi, the star of the show here this evening, 4 goals to his name.